So here's a video showing Democratic Senator Richard Durbin suggesting that in order to achieve a pathway to citizenship, undocumented immigrants could serve in the American military.
Do you know what the recruiting numbers are at the Army and the Navy and the Air Force? They can't reach their quotas each month. They can't find enough people to join our military forces. And there are those who are undocumented who want the chance to serve and risk their lives for this country. Should we give them the chance? I think we should.
Some people have heard Senator Durbin's remarks, and I feel that they have misinterpreted his intention. And I know that that's a fact because the first time that I came across this video, it was a result of several content creators reacting to it and being upset by the implications of Senator Durbin's remarks. And these are the implications by what appeared to be a proposal for a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants based on the exploitation of our labor in the American military. Essentially asking us to become cannon fodder for the American military as it maintains America's global hegemony, all while dangling a carrot of legalization in front of us as an incentive. And so when I heard these remarks, when I saw this video, much like other content creators on this app, I too was upset by the implication, and I feel that that's warranted. Undocumented immigrants in this country, I mean immigrants in general, but undocumented immigrants in this case in particular, we're used to being exploited, being used as political pawns, and as a result, we've become somewhat defensive whenever we hear politicians talking about our community and ways in which we can achieve legalization, especially if we feel like we're being exploited. However, after finding the full speech on YouTube and watching what his full remarks were, I feel that this sentiment might have been jumping the gun a bit, considering that Senator Durbin has been an advocate for immigration reform for a while now and was one of two senators who sponsored the 2001 DREAM Act, which would have opened a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants known as Dreamers. And this is something that he's continued to advocate for even now in 2023. And I get it, some of you might be saying, but Ivan, he's still advocating for military exploitation of immigrants in exchange for legalization. But I would remind you that military service is and actually has always been one of the conditions that was proposed for legalization in the DREAM Act. So you can go ahead and pause to read the entirety of the requirements proposed by the DREAM Act, but you can see that military service is only but one option alongside the pursuit of higher education. To me, this shows that military recruitment was not intentionally the basis for this specific policy. I feel that it should also be noted that Senator Durbin was a member of the so-called Gang of Eight, which was a bipartisan group of senators who wrote the so-called Gang of Eight bill, which is the Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization Act of 2013. If enacted, the bill would have made it possible for many undocumented immigrants to gain a pathway to citizenship. It would have also, according to the Congressional Budget Office, reduced the U.S. deficit by $197 billion over 10 years and $700 billion by 2033. And the Social Security Administration stated that it would have helped add $276 billion in revenue over 10 years while only costing $33 billion. Confirming something that we already knew, that immigration is good for the economy. So given Senator Durbin's previous work and continued advocacy for the immigrant community, especially the undocumented immigrant community in this country, I feel that his words and that this specific video was taken out of context. I don't think that he's advocating for the exploitation of undocumented immigrants in the military, but simply offering military service as one potential pathway for citizenship. But at the same time, if you continue that speech, he offers that there are other positions in this country that could be filled by immigrants, including jobs in the medical industry.
Those little kids didn't have a vote when the family decided to come to the United States. And they've grown up here. They've been educated in our schools here. They've got advanced degrees, and they want to be part of America's future. And they should be given that chance.
To me, this here is a perfect example why as content creators, we need to make sure that we're doing our due diligence when we're presenting information so that we're not accidentally misrepresenting the positions of politicians like Dick Durbin, who have been consistently advocating for the undocumented community. And so we're not accidentally misinforming the people who follow us on our platforms. I have said it on here before. I don't consider myself an influencer, but I understand that I've built a platform, something around 80,000 followers, and the things that I say will affect the way that some of these people think, and as a result, how they vote, how they engage with politics. And so that's why I say that it's important that if we're going to cover these types of topics, that we do thorough research before we put out videos. Anyway, that being said, I'm Internet Mexican. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to support this type of content, you can go ahead and give me a follow, give me a like, help spread the message. Also, check out my Patreon. It's 100% free. I post up Mexican history content on there. If you do want to support the creation of that type of content, there is a $3 a month subscription on there. Again, not necessary. Any of the content that I put on there is always on there for free.